Hiya, kids. We're back to tell you a story, part of an ongoing story about memorable characters, long-lasting life lessons, all coated with just enough magic to keep you coming back for more. And to tell you this week's story, we started like any other famous tale in history with the words "Once upon a time."
Frozen. Over. Oh my god! Oh, like we should just put a compilation of terrible botched intros.
Oh, we need a
For the
blooper
first
reel.
time,
So,
it's not my fault! Yay!
no, Tiki, you forgot to introduce us.
Wait, you didn't tell me that!
That's
You
what.
didn't tell
What
me
do you mean?
that.
We don't.
No, you said you start out with the stuff, and you literally said right before we went on air. Right before we go on air. Now remember, Tiki, you don't say anything except Frozen Over.
No,
Remember that. You don't say
Not the
anything
first-
except for Frozen Over.
I thought the first part was obvious. Well, we always started to introduce us then. I said the thing. Forget it.
Alright. Anyway, so we are talking about Once Upon a Time, episode 5, entitled Breaking Glass. Ooh. So yeah, this was advertised on ABC as the spooky Halloween episode.
But not really.
No, not really at all. Not even in the slightest. Not even
Literally
a
made the
little
trailer look more like a horror movie than the actual thing was.
bit. Oh god. Okay, so yeah, I definitely think this was the most fillery episode so far. I think it was kind of just kind of moving around in circles just a little bit, but not necessarily for the lack of Frozen stuff, though I was surprised about the lack of Frozen stuff, if anything, just because I thought I had my finger on the pulse of what we were going to do with the flashbacks, and that one flashback was going to be Anna, next week would be Elsa, and they kind of bounced back and forth. They did that for the first 4 episodes, but then they really changed the formula here, and we're dealing with an Emma Swan-centric episode. So, BlueDragonFive, just before we get into the actual episode proper, I don't know, this is one of the things about this show that I'm still kind of trying to figure out, you know what I mean? Just the exact structure and where they have the flashbacks, where they have them. I'm assuming at this point that every episode's got a flashback to it.
Yeah, because you gotta remember, people who actually worked on Lost work on this show.
Right, yeah, and that's what I was getting at, because this definitely feels like a Lost episode. This definitely feels like a quintessential, classic, filler episode of Lost, where you got the flashback that it's something that you probably really didn't need to see in the character's past, but it does kind of expand the character a little bit, builds him up a little bit. You know, and the classic sort of like, ooh, the stuff that's going on the island relates to the stuff that's going on in the flashback.
And from what I gathered from the recaps, that is a regular thing per season. Just usually kind of a themed seasonal flashback mantra, usually. But yeah, pretty much a flashback every episode I gather. But again, we're going to say this once up front, so we don't have to keep saying it during the episode. But again, folks, but again, we're not experts. Like we're jumping out of a plane, kind of flying blind here. We've seen recaps. That's pretty much all we know going into this season blind. But yeah, if you folks who are huge fans of the show know anything, by all means, leave in the comments. We'll give you a shout out. Again, so far I think we've been on point. But again, there might be a few details in there we'd be more than willing to correct if given the opportunity. So again, just leave in the comments. We'll by all means give you a shout and thank you profusely, because we need the help if we get stuff wrong. That's all. So we can save ourselves trouble saying it right constantly, but
Okay, so I guess without any further ado, you want to jump right into the recap of this episode?
Certainly, and as all the time, we kind of divide our recaps up here in terms of past and present. We start with the present, and we go to the past. A little bittersweet this week with that sort of thing, but we'll have episodes like that certainly.
At the very least, the flashbacks are going to be easy and kind of brisk to get through this week, because they're
very brief.
Yeah, there's really not a ton of substance to it. It's good development for Emma's character. I'll give it that much.
Overall, in this episode, the way I thought of it, I thought it was good. It was a good character development episode. You're right; it is kind of fillery, but yeah, we got some plot with the Snow Queen, most definitely. So it's not entirely filler.
we did get Snow Queen plot for sure, and
Snow Queen was really on point this episode.
And might I just say, just before we go any further, like Elizabeth Mitchell is really killing it for me. I am so pleased with her performance here. And jokes like, oh, they're showing too much for cleavage. I got to admit that's an issue for me with the wardrobe. It's a little bit distracting, but her performance is damn good. Her performance is spot on. Like,
you're gonna think I'm really naive here, but I didn't notice the cleavage.
You didn't notice the cleavage?
I keep looking at, and with her costume, I keep looking at the neck piece thing. I always like the little dangly neck piece thing.
Yeah, I noticed that's something that's kind of going around on Facebook, is like people are like, oh, Snow Queen shows her cleavage too much. And I kind of agree with that. Because Elizabeth Mitchell, she's just, I know, she's the kind of actress that really just commands the screen for me. Like, oh, God, like, she has some really great scenes in Lost.
Yeah, she's really great in this.
Yeah, she had some really great scenes in Lost between herself and Michael Emerson that really, just in general, and it's really so cool to see her go from Lost, where her character was, she started out a little bit sketchy in the first 6 episodes or so of season 3 when she got introduced, but more or less, she was definitely a hero in the grand scheme of Lost, and here she is definitely a villain. I mean, breaking out the Vader choke,
Oh yeah, but we'll get anyway. So, we had some really great plot with her, and as always, just kind of get out of the way real quick here because we don't have a lot of this episode, but just ordinarily, the thing with the Frozen stuff, turns out, great costuming, great performances, and great acting as
I
usual.
actually have a very, very big complaint about the costumes for Frozen characters.
I think I know what it is, but I have an excuse for it. We'll get into it. I think I have an excuse for it though.
Okay.
Anyway, so again, previously, is real quick, just to get you up. So again, the Snow Queen is still around, and that ice wall still surrounds the small town. And the thief, or thief, I think I get in the habit now calling him Scarlet because they called him Will Scarlet a few times in this episode. The merry man, Will Scarlet.
I actually did a little bit of research on him, and he's a pretty prominent character.
Oh.
Like, he's not just a little throwaway sort of side character. So.
No, really. I thought he was introduced this season. Maybe he was introduced when Robin Hood was.
No, he was around. I know the only reason I say that he's prominent is that I've seen people talk about him. So I definitely think he's at least been around in season 3. He's probably a big part of Robin's storyline. I mean, I'm guessing because he's a merry man.
I just assumed he was a background character whenever Robin Hood was introduced, and he's introduced as a character.
I mean, that could be he could be a background character the same way Grumpy was a background character. You know what I mean? Where it's where it could be where he was really memorable and charming in the seasons that we just didn't see him.
I just assumed he was like a drunken member of Robin Hood's Merry Brew.
I mean, that's probably what he was, yeah, but I'm just saying, people like him enough to where there's a following for him.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, you gotta remember, people follow stuff like crazy. I mean, there's people following a movie that hasn't even come out yet for Disney.
Oh, dear God. Well, I mean, not to mention all the adventure stuff that I'm sure we're going to get into. But
anyway, so again, that's pretty much he's in lockup right now. So pretty much that's your previously on. That's important to this episode anyway. So let's see. So we're in the present now. So this Snow Queen is bringing a nice sculpture to life.
Oh yeah.
That's how we start. That's really cool looking. Meanwhile, let's see. Elsa and Emma, they're combing through copious boxes of files, looking for some information on the Snow Queen. Find some Anna link.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to search for some clues for Anna, turning up nothing. Let's see. Meanwhile, Elsa suggests let's find the Snow Queen. This is after instead of combing through files, we can go look for the Snow Queen. Unfortunately, then Emma brings up the unfortunate reason they can't. That's not a bright idea. Is that she knows about our missing memories here. For all we know, she could have erased our memories. This lady's not someone to be trifled with. So unfortunately, it's looking a little not dire, but it's looking a little. It's still Anna's still far off from being found at this point, to our knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, feel bad for Elsa. There's really not much you can do. And anyway, so Hook comes by, brings by brings by an additional file box with some, I believe, some prevalent information if Emma hasn't come across it yet. So Will Scarlet, meanwhile, he's in the background of this thing, which I love. He's just in the background. In his holding cell, still in his little holding cell, he slept overnight. And I love the little running gag that Emma loves Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's like putting the files on the table. He has some Pop-Tarts there. He gives Will Scarlet a Pop-Tart. Takes a bite out of it.
Pop-Tarts in the past.
Yep, exactly. He says, someone took a nibble out of this. I had my shots. Oh, goody. Scarlet's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, let's see. So again, I have a real funny theory, like a funny idea that would blow your mind away. I'll get into it during the speculation portion about Hook comes by, delivers the files, and pretty much says, okay, I'm going to take Henry sailing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Will Scarlet says, oh, you're trying to befriend the son to get to the mother, eh? Clever.
I'm kind of disappointed we didn't see any of that this episode.
I know, I'm going to get into that during speculation. I'm going to get into that.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a goofy speculation, mind you. It's nothing legitimate, but, it could be awesome.
Right.
We'll see. Let's see. So essentially, Hook taking Henry. That's why Hook's not in this episode till the end, because he's doing stuff with Henry off screen. Meanwhile, let's see. So we come across with Hook's the box that Hook just brought. We come across Regina's spying files. She had a Sydney, our magic mirror, I assume when he was human, go around, take some pictures and do some spying on her enemies, and particularly comes across Emma's file. Looking through there, see some pictures, reminiscing some happy memories about Henry, saying, oh, it's when Henry and I did this, did that. Oh, wait, what's this? We see it's a picture of Emma talking to the Snow Queen in her ice cream vendor identity.
Oh, yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
I think Elsa's the one who discovers the pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then meanwhile, next scene we have Regina, and she's bargaining with the mirror, and she wants to find the Snow Queen. Just really quick kind of scene with that, just kind of set it up. And then we get to my favorite part of the episode, BlueDragonFive. My favorite part.
Well, one second. Hold on for a second. Anyway, so again, the Regina and the Magic Mirror, this is important because the Magic Mirror is going to play a huge role in this episode, especially just given the title.
Certainly, yeah.
Pretty nice. And of course, he's played by the wonderful Gus Fring, Giancarlo Esposito. How can we not talk about this guy?
Yeah.
So essentially, she's looking for the Snow Queen to unfreeze Marion, and basically, she again, I love Regina in this episode. She's good. And you get a vibe again. You and I are novice compared to us again. People comments. I only mention. I swear to you, that's the only mention I'll make of it. Essentially, you get a sense of Regina. She's she's like a character. Like she has obviously a lot of underlying motives. She's really self-indulgent, but it's like she's like evil to a point of like you love her, to a point. Like she does these things. You get a sense she does these things all the time, which is.
Well, I mean, we made the comparison on our first show, I think, to Regina equals Siler. Yes,
pretty much. And this is the point where Regina she's helping out obviously to serve her own self-interest here. She wants to save Marion. She's going to find the Snow Queen and basically make the Snow Queen turn her back and basically doing it by force. And that's Regina's style, from what I gathered. Doing it by force, sending Sydney to do it, and let's see, send Sydney to do it. And Sydney abides. The Magic Mirror, he abides, and Regina's just she's still peeved at the situation. Meanwhile, okay, get to your favorite scene. What happens?
All right, my favorite scene. Yeah, my favorite actress from Lost, Emily D. Ravine, Claire. She gets to stand around, look awkward, and not do anything. Hooray!
I hate it when you get passive aggressive.
No, seriously, this is like she danced with Rumpelstiltskin in the first episode, and that's about the only thing she's done besides stand around and look awkward.
Well, she's got the only thing she's really got going for her right now. She's got kind of like a plot thing dangling over her that she holds the dagger that whenever she finds out, it's going to be trouble for Rumpelstiltskin.
Certainly, next episode it looks like a Belle-centric episode. I'd even venture to say I think it might be a flashback.
Well, also a present story too with her, so she'll be a big part of next episode.
Well, no, certainly, but I'm saying like I think Belle might be the flashback of the episode. That's my theory.
Oh, okay.
Just given the honest stuff that we saw with her. But anyways.
So
yes,
why is she there? Let's talk about that. Why is she there? What's happening?
she's a babysitter, and as David said, Belle's a natural. See. And so David and Snow White, they want to go on a date. And yes, BlueDragonFive, at this point, David is absolutely my favorite character. I can't deny. He is wonderful. Just
Story Brooks Jim Gordon.
Oh yeah. Especially in this episode, he's really fun. He's just like he's so likable. I can't even explain why.
And like Snow White, still that in her, she just had the baby. She's still the kind of really protective mom face. Like, I can't leave him for a second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And again, the thing is, the really likable thing Dave's doing here is he's recognizing. I mean, you get the mayor. You suddenly have been made the mayor. You just had a kid. You want to be with the kid 24 hours a day. You have to settle all the town's problems. You and I need like a date or so. You get out of that. Let's go for a relaxing walk. What do you say? But no, I can't leave. Look, we got a babysitter. Let's go out. On a hike. We got a little hike.
Right. Yeah, I just think it's how well intentioned David is with everything he does. That makes me like him. So
he wants to go for a date night.
Oh yeah. Okay, so then anything else to say with that?
No, pretty much. Yeah, again, I love Dave, and he's doing a really sweet thing here, trying to get Snow out in the world. Okay, Meanwhile, Emma and Elsa. Okay, they're in that really. They're in the yellow car, in the yellow love bug.
Oh yeah.
I just love that Emma drives that. Still, that's cool.
Oh God, part of me wishes that part of me hopes it's a reference to Herbie. I really hope so.
Herbie and what? Oh, Herbie. Oh, I thought you meant.
Yeah. I really hope it's a subtle Herbie reference. That would make me happy.
I don't know. If it was white, I'd definitely give that to you. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's ABC, so it's Disney, so...
Anyway, so I think your costuming issue's here, am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so first of all, hold on 1 second. So essentially, Emma and Elsa, they're in the car, they are talking... they're outside Regina's place. Emma's going to go in there, going to talk to Regina, get some answers about the pictures they just found. Like, why are pictures made? Do you know anything about this? Pretty much. And basically, Emma makes the poignant thing here. And again, just something we make a point of every episode saying is that our flashbacks are tied very well into our present stories. So even though we're not discussing that, just assume that it ties in. Especially this episode, I gotta tell you, it ties in really well this episode. Almost more than previous.
Yeah, like just an example, like I just said, like she gives Scarlett the Pop-Tart, and then in her first flashback, she's shoplifting Pop-Tart. So.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so we'll get into that more with the flashbacks. Just keep that in mind, folks. They really integrate well. We're not doing it justice, but anyway, so basically, she makes the poignant thing here. It does also relate to the whole flashbacks as a whole. You screw someone over, and there's no getting them back.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Makes that point. Okay, so what's the fashion issue?
The fashion issue is this purple cape, whatever the hell thing it is that Elsa's wearing.
I'm 100% with you, but I found an excuse for it.
What's your excuse?
It's not much, but it's the only thing I can give you for why she has this. Well, remember, her clothing is made out of her ice power, so maybe she just made a coat.
Right, but I don't know.
Why? I don't know. I'm just saying that's the only justification I have for why she would have that. Like, she just made it. That's the only way she could have it.
It just comes out of nowhere. It's like she suddenly just has it, and quite frankly, it looks a little ugly. It kind of doesn't really go over.
You know what I think the real reason is? Why they gave her that?
What?
I think it's because they just wanted to make sure that people don't. Again, it's a silly reason, mind you. I think it's because they're convinced that either. That's the stupid reason that people aren't going to. We need to remind the kiddies at home that these two, the Snow Queen and Elsa, are not the same character. That's the stupid reason. The smarter reason would be just to kind of visually give them more of a distinct look, at least in this scene, because they're both going to be around a lot of snow for a moment. Maybe.
I don't know. My argument there is I think that Elsa's blue dress is pretty damn distinct enough.
Yeah,
I don't really think you need to add to it.
I'm with you. I think I don't mind the coat. I'm saying, why do we really need it?
I just mind it because it just comes out of nowhere. It doesn't even look good. It doesn't.
I'm bothered by the fact it has no explanation. I'm bothered by
Right?
that.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm saying like it was basically if there was like I almost want to say oh, it was a little cold out, but no, that wouldn't bother her.
No, the cold doesn't bother her.
Cold never bothered her anyway.
Oh god! And we get another song quote in this episode.
Oh, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's, why exactly does she? Yeah, we don't exactly
You
why
should
she
see
needs.
some of the scathing Facebook posts I saw about
Oh
it.
god, but people really harsh on just the coat. I mean, look, I'll admit, it comes
It's
out.
got some weird fanatic fans, man. It really does.
Don't get me wrong. I don't mind the way it looks. I would like an explanation for it, like a little reference. Like I just want to see maybe like do a little snap effect, and then she's dressed in the new thing. Like yeah, I wanted to liven up a little. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah, you see, if they would have just done that, I would have been completely and utterly happy with it. It wouldn't have bothered me at all.
You think she can make clothes for other people?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. Like I was thinking like a scene they could have had in that Emma's date episode. Pretty much like she snaps on like additions to the dress or something.
Yeah.
I just assumed it would melt.
Not like a major gripe, but it is just a visual thing in this episode that is clearly very distracting because the fan base was pretty up in arms about it.
Yeah, and that was just the thing that kept eating away at me the episode until I just justified that because you just made it. Like, why is she wearing this purple getup? And there's no scene explaining. Because I saw it in the promo, I was saying, oh man, she's dressed in a cool little purple thing. There must be some scene explaining how she got that.
Right. Nope, not at all.
Because I mean, the real reason I can only think of is, yeah, well, it's because Halloween. They want to dress her up in something a little different. I don't know. I get nothing.
Ooh, it's Halloween. It's spooky. Elsa's wearing a slightly different costume.
This is Frozenween. This is Frozenween. Frozenween. Anyway, so let's see. Well, then we had our flashback, but aside from our flashback, let's see. So Regina and Emma have a little chat. What happens? It's a tense chat. What happens?
Well, basically, I really do like this whole dynamic that Regina and Swan have going on this episode. Because essentially, Swan is just trying to make amends with Regina, and of course, we're just kind of going into this blind. I mean, we didn't really see the Robin Hood relationship play out, so all we know is that her and Robin Hood were very, very close, and to the point of being a couple, and then Mayberry comes back and everything. So this is kind of touching on issues that we're not really familiar with, but regardless, it's good. I really love how.
I think I can buy it though, just given the little we know. It's pretty much like, okay, well, she was really in love with Robin Hood, and then that got taken away by Emma, by accident.
Sure. And so, anyways, in the scene, so they're. First of all, I really love the reference to. Doesn't Regina say something about Emma and the Snow Queen being frenemies?
I think she does.
I love that.
Did you make any more frenemies? I don't know. She says something along those lines.
Yeah, something about. I just wrote down in my notes frenemies, so I don't. I should really be more specific with my notes sometimes, but.
Essentially, what happens in the scene is pretty much in terms of getting some answers. Again, bear in mind, Regina's being really catty, which you get a sense of. Regina. Like, this is like season, from what I gathered, mind you, again, going in blind. Like season 1, Regina would be a lot like this, where she really had it bad for Emma, because again, she took away her son, so she was really peeved at her and jealous of her and peeved at her.
Right.
The two of them had kind of like a similar type deal with pretty much, you're my enemy, you're not my enemy anymore. Pretty much, basically by the end of last season, from what I gather, they became friends, but then her whole world came crashing down when Marion came back, and she hates her for that now. Well, it was always shaky terms, and then when they kind of finally become friends, and then I think it's third next. Really, Regina right now, she's been insulting in this season up to this point. She's been insulting her, basically saying you're ineffective at your job, putting some self-doubt in her. Emma just wants to be her friend, and she feels really bad about what happened, and Regina's not giving her an inch at all. And it's understandable, but it's a little understandable in terms of like why Regina feels this way. But still, you feel bad for Emma.
Right. Sure.
So the point is, Regina's going to go into her classic ways and how she used to feel about Emma, because again, she had her spied on for a reason. And so pretty much, in terms of getting answers, pretty much asked like what's the deal with the pictures, while being very catty throughout the episode to her. She says, yeah, pretty much says, oh yeah, Sydney, Sydney took the pictures, and from says, he never made any mention of it.
Mm.
So pretty much it's a dead end. You know she's lying.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
She knows stuff. Again, because pretty much as far as we know, as far as Emma has no idea that she even broke Sydney out of the insane asylum to put him in the mirror.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
essentially,
essentially,
like with some of the stuff, it's like it'd be kind of a benefit to know exactly what was going on in the early seasons with Sydney and everything, and the pictures and what the pictures exactly mean. But we can kind of piece it together.
all you really need to know is he's the magic mirror from the classic Snow White tale, and pretty much in Storybrooke, he was her henchman. Then he got sent to an insane asylum. That's all I got from it, anyway.
Okay.
Also, the big thing here is that she literally says, essentially, you created my problems right now. All the stuff I'm dealing with, I'm looking for a cure for Marion, all because you brought her back. You ruined my life.
Mm-hmm.
And also I love how Emma offers the help. Pretty much. Again, you gotta love Emma. You feel so bad for Emma, especially during her flashbacks too. Emma's basically offering help, saying, I may not be a master sorcerer, and you just kind of stop teaching me. So I get the implication that she kind of showed her some pointers and stuff how to control her magic. So pretty much Emma's like offering up, well, if you need just some random juice, you just like blast stuff and you can redirect it. I don't know. We're saying, I've got your back, and this is important given our flashbacks too, because
oh yeah, definitely.
I have your back, and I love how just Regina's just taken aback by these sort of like friendly comments, just pretty much saying, Miss Swan. And he just calls her Miss Swan because she really just sees no Emma anymore. She sees Swan.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Swan, you have never had my back.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. Like really, really interesting character dynamics here, and it just can't be stressed enough how good the flashbacks are in terms of just. I don't think the flashbacks move the plot forward at all, but I do think it kind of gives us a nice little shade of development on Emma. So, like I said, as a Lost fan, I was very much at home with that, because Lost has a ton of episodes that are exactly like this.
And again, you have to remember, Regina was like the former evil mayor, too. So,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I guess next scene.
Okay, so
next scene was a flashback, and after that flash.
Yeah, so next scene is pretty simple. It's just Elsa in the car, and she hears Anna. She hears Anna calling her name. She gets out of the car.
Caesar.
Yeah, and
chases after her.
And I'm gonna have some more Lost parallels with this episode, but we'll get into that a little further on. But it really reminds me of a classic episode of Lost. But anyways.
Emma finds that she's gone. Elsa's gone. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, our magic mirror.
Yeah, so Regina, she's bargaining with the magic mirror.
This is a funny scene, by the way.
Yeah, take us through it a little bit, because I didn't really quite get the context.
Essentially, the magic mirror, he appears. Essentially, she told her, look for the Snow Queen, find the Snow Queen. And for reasons, again, this really holds up really good in the rewatch, by the way. Especially with the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, the mirror says, I have found, essentially saying, before I share my information, I'd like to discuss our arrangement. Essentially, he wants to get out of that mirror because he hates being confined in that mirror.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can blame him.
And pretty much saying, well, my queen. I love how he keeps calling her my queen. He's loyal, though. Seemingly. He's seemingly loyal to her, because I think he actually, I'm just guessing here, just in this season, because at the beginning here, when he got out of the asylum, I assume that he truly believes in her cause and everything, but he thinks at the beginning of the season, we got the sense that he thinks that she's had some sort of divine purpose for him. Really, she just saw him as an asset she forgot about, saying, yeah, I might need this guy. Brings back and says, oh, my queen, I knew you had a purpose for me. Yeah, right, yes. Listen, pretty much that sort of thing. And I guess since now he's kind of a little sick and tired, he just wants to get out of that thing so bad. She says, I'll release you. It's only temporary. And you get a sense, it's been a little longer temporary for him. So he wants out of the thing, so he's saying, before I share my information, I have the leverage right. Essentially, he has leverage right now. He's trying to bargain so he can get out of there. And pretty much she's saying, you don't. I'm not saying you don't have leverage. He says, what do you take me for, an imbecile? He says, well, I did trap you in the mirror twice. He says, upon Essentially, he learns, upon further. He has a really funny line. He says, "Upon further reflection."
That's a pun. I didn't even get that pun. Well done. Yeah.
Upon further reflection.
Oh, yes.
Well, on further reflection, I see I don't have the leverage I did. Pretty much says, I can lead you to the Snow Queen. Boom, boom, boom. Next scene. So we're our date night.
Okay, so yeah, the next scene. Yeah, so Snow and David are. Oh, that's weird for some reason. Oh no.
Police station.
Yeah, they're at the police station. Snow, she's freaking out about cell phone reception. She's like, "I'm not going to go anywhere if we can't be gotten a hold of." And so David, he comes up with a really nice solution. Does the walkie-talkie? It's like, "Here, see, I'll give one to Belle, or I'll call Belle. I'll tell her where ours is, and we'll be good to go. We'll be good to go."
Even if we fall into a portal to Asgard.
Yeah.
He literally says that. That's a cool little Thor reference.
You have any idea if they've? I doubt they've done Asgard on the show.
I doubt they have. I doubt they have too, but I like how it's a fun reference to it.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile,
actually, I don't know. Exploring the Marvel universe would be an interesting thing to go with this show in the future.
Well, they went to Disney. I don't see why. They went to Disney. We could get more from there.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly. But anyways.
So let's see. So meanwhile, then they discover before they're about to head out, they see, oh, well, Scarlet's gone.
Oh yeah.
And so I love how enthusiastic David is here.
Come on, it'll be like a prince and princess adventure, except the evil queen won't be chasing after us.
I love that. He makes a good, compelling argument. It'll just be an adventure. There's no risk. We're just going to find a guy who's a low-level thief anyway. There's no danger, really.
Right.
It'll be fun. It'll be like old times, eh? That's fun.
Good times.
Okay. Meanwhile, let's see. So Regina, she's tracking.
Yeah, so she's being guided by Sydney in the mirror. I do like that idea. She carries around the pocket mirror.
I love how she's in a compact mirror to carry him around like a compass.
Mm-hmm. And much to Regina's chagrin, she meets up with Swan, and she's just, "Oh great, what are you doing here, Swan?"
And she's being again. The good dynamic here. It's interesting dynamic that Regina is just she's acting to cover up some stuff too. Pretty much covering up the fact that she doesn't want her to know about the magic mirror.
Oh yeah.
Acting out of genuine distaste. Pretty much. She's being intentionally difficult.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mainly also to kind of starve her off, try to discourage her from coming along so she can actually get stuff done. But then she realizes she's got to come along.
Well, if I just say no, you'll just come along anyways.
I love that line, by the way.
How much resentment she has in that line.
Pretty much it's a reluctant team up, to say the least.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which, by the way, again relates to a flashback.
Right. I know. I'm kind of regretting our decision to do the flashbacks. It was my decision, but
that's what I'm saying.
Because they just work so well.
I gotta say they're really well integrated this episode. Anyway, okay. So meanwhile, in the present, because we're still there, Elsa. Elsa does. She does an effect a la Frozen. She makes an awesome looking snow bridge.
Mm-hmm. And did you notice that was in the title?
What?
The Once Upon a Time.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. I kind of forgot about it when I was watching it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, really good effect here. I do have a lost parallel to make though. This whole episode.
What, did they make ice bridges in Lost all the time?
No. Get out of here with that. This whole episode, there was a frozen donkey wheel in Lost, and you have. Oh my God. Oh, the implications of the frozen donkey. Okay, but anyways, so basically, Elsa's being manipulated by the Snow Queen this whole episode. She's hearing voices that aren't there. She's seeing visions of Anna. Who else does that? Well, none other than the Black Smoke Monster from Lost. Yeah, the Black Smoke Monster is really big on manipulating people. The voices. The appearances. The Black Smoke Monster, essentially what he does is he takes the appearance of dead people who have died on the island and uses that to fuck with to fuck with the castaways, just mess with their mind in all kinds of great ways. It makes for a good show. But anyways, yeah, I can definitely see the Lost influence just all over this episode, from the way the flashbacks are set up to the whole, like, oh, they're being guided around by a supernatural force who's manipulating them. All right, but anyways.
Yeah, well, so basically she crosses the awesome-looking snow bridge effect, and yeah, I love that I do copy the thing for the movie. She makes the snowy bridge, and then as she's crossing it, she basically turns into ice. It looks really cool. She finds Anna. She thinks, oh, I found her. Then she falls, and they're like, oh, Anna. Then we're in our next scene with David. David, he goes off to they're around the beach. It's kind of a beach area. Which kind of raises the question: if they were near a beach, right?
Yeah, let's see, Storybrooke, Maine.
I'm saying there was some sand.
Maine is a coastal town, or Maine is a coastal state. So yeah, I would assume it'd be near.
And here's an issue I just thought of right now. If the town is frozen over and like it's sealed up, what about the coastline? How long does that dome go? Maybe it was cloudy.
I don't think they're doing the best job of actually conveying that the town is sealed up. To tell you the truth, I think they should. I think they should be including a little bit more of for example, we see Grumpy's angry mob forming against Elsa in episode 3, and we don't have anything about that for the next 2 episodes. So.
I guess, maybe that's kind of a benefit, because think about it. Well, so far they haven't been susceptible to no man's land syndrome of, the town going nuts over lack of resources. But again, either A, they could just be conjuring up whatever they need, because, a lot of magic. Or B, this could work to our advantage. Okay, well, it's just pretty much the town is frozen up except for the water. Whereas that's how they're getting their shipments of stuff in. Just still, it's inconvenient, I guess. So, I don't know. Maybe the other thing in terms of maybe the ice block is still there again. Maybe it works like the dome. It's just all the way out there.
I think we should at least be seeing more of the actual physical wall. I think that should be a set piece more than it actually is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Also, maybe it's covered just in the net. Really, it's not there. I'm saying maybe in terms of finding an excuse, maybe it's just covered by darkness and it's around.
All right, fair enough.
Also, I gotta tell you, so are we sure we saw sand? Are we sure we saw a coastline? I'm just making sure of that because I saw a beach.
I'm not absolutely sure. No, I'm not.
Maybe that's the thing we're just kind of.
Yeah, I'm just kind of assuming just based on the fact that, like I said, Maine is a very coastal state. So
I'm just saying I saw sand. I assumed beach. I thought there was a beach behind it, but I could be wrong. I'd be misremembering that. So
right, yeah.
And it looked kind of like a unique set. There was like a boardwalk of some sort, but again, boardwalk, no water. I'm not.
Right.
Anyway, let's see. Also, the thing about it, Henry and Hook, they were going sailing, so there has to be water.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh my God. Exactly.
Apparently there's water. I don't know how it works.
There we go.
I guess there is water around the town, so let's just assume there's water there. So I guess it's just there has to be a cutoff in the water. I assume.
Oh jeez. Oh God.
It must be a proximity thing. I'm just going to assume that there is an ice wall. We just didn't see it because it's night out. And maybe it's really further out. I don't know.
All right. Now that you said that, I can't unsee it now.
Now maybe it's like, okay, we're sailing, but don't hit the wall.
Oh God! Now I really want to see that. That'd be hilarious.
Let's see. Because meanwhile, so Davy goes out to find Scarlet. They're on the sandy beach, and anyway, so now apparently, so Davy went off to find him. Meanwhile, Snow White, she's around the beach, and basically she's about to turn back, go home, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Or split up, I'm not sure. And essentially, she finds him. She hears a man digging in the sand, and we're gonna see it's Will Scarlet.
And I like how she's like at first she's like, no, nah. I'm probably wrong.
No, that's not.
No,
that's Snow White's adorable.
Oh yeah. I wasn't really much of a fan of this Snow White at first, but she's really grown on me for sure.
Right.
I don't know, to tell you the truth, out of this whole cast, there's not really anyone that I actively dislike. I mean, certainly not on the level of people that we actively dislike, like the people on Gotham.
Well, I mean, Well, I mean, you're not too crazy about Bill right now.
But with Belle, I'll admit I'm kind of over exaggerating my hatred of her, and I don't really know much about the character, and I kind of have a bias against the actress from Lost, so
I think I
I'll
still
give Belle
got.
the benefit of the doubt. I'll wait until next episode.
I think I still need to get used to the kid, but really he'd be like the only weak one,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's the one that's kind of like, I mean, he's fine. He
Yeah,
has
I mean
some,
he's okay. I mean, I was saying he's
yeah,
not as strong as the other ones or anything.
no, no, but yeah, but overall, I find this cast to be pretty damn likable.
Yes. Meanwhile, Emma and Regina, they they're searching for the Snow Queen, searching for Elsa and the Snow Queen. Meanwhile, let's see. So Regina in this whole scene pretty much as they're kind of bantering around here. Again, Emma being sweet and trying to patch things up. Regina really rejecting her. That's kind of your classic scene architecture right there. One character wants one thing, the other one denying her the other thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Let's see. Essentially, again, Regina, she's being really just playing to her self-interest and being very deceptive.
Yeah, sure.
And Emma Emma being smart, you're asking really smart questions like, with these kind of, how you're tracking her right now, isn't there like some sort of locator thing, like you have some sort of mystical object following you or anything?
I
And
love
again,
that. You got to think that's an Aladdin reference.
no, I'm thinking like really just anything. If you ever read a comic or anything, you notice all the time they do something like that, pretty much like
Okay,
someone
but
following
I just my mind instantly went to the scarab from Aladdin.
And she's right too.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's using the magic mirror, which you can't use right now because Emma's around.
and in Regina, she's just like, my powers go beyond anything you can comprehend, Miss Swan, and
So
explain
again, I love that.
waste the time.
Again, so I love that she's being catty to her, just kind of again, just being very deceptive, saying, "Oh no, you're an idiot for thinking that sort of thing." Maybe if you actually studied now and again, you might learn something. Again, so Emma's trying to mend things, not going that well, and Regina just essentially, really, at the end of the scene, Regina's full on, and she hates that she's trying. Literally says, she hates that she's trying to ease her own guilt by
Oh yeah.
by trying to patch things up, saying, things will never be fine. You ruined my life. And essentially,
Yeah.
I love the last line she says, though. Particularly, I wrote this down. It's basically saying, why don't you just learn to do as I do? Do as I do and learn to live with it, live with the hurt.
Yeah, yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Oh yeah. We're saying you can't get rid of your own good. You have to live with that. Like I'm living with my hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's really good stuff. I'm sorry, Tiggy, you were saying anything?
Oh gosh, I had a point, but I forgot it. So just move on. It's okay.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine.
Let's see. So aside from our next flashback, we got Elsa. Elsa finds Anna, and I gotta tell you, this scene again. Elsa has obviously she has an important part to play in this episode, but she's not really used that much in this episode. When she's there, I gotta tell you, her scenes are really poignant. This scene really they struck me. I gotta tell you. So she finds Anna, and obviously you and I both know this is we can pretty much predict this is a fake Anna because that'd be solve our story too quickly.
Of course, yeah.
Of course.
I knew right from the get-go, just because I guess I know these writers and their tricks, and like I said, the whole thing about oh, it's the voices, and so I totally called it. It was a black smoke monster moment from the very
And I
beginning.
like how in the beginning, if you look really closely, like she's carving that sort of figure in the ice, and the idea is she's carving Anna right there.
Okay, okay.
Which is neat, and I gotta tell you, even though we know this pretty much it's a fake on, it's kind of obvious, and it doesn't last long. It's not really much of like a dragging on thing. It's really cool the way they do it here. It pretty much she's found Anna, and Elsa's really happy for a moment, and then first of all, then the Snow Queen appears out of nowhere.
Oh,
Really,
yeah.
really creepy entrance, really cool entrance. And then Elsa, this is pretty much their quote unquote Halloween part of the episode. And pretty much it is nightmarish, but I don't think Halloween really.
Yeah, yeah.
Aside from her like Spencer's, aside from her like spirit Halloween store getup that Elsa's wearing right now, that purple
Oh,
coat of pretty much she found Anna, and you feel so bad for Elsa in this scene because it's a trap and the Snow Queen's there. And I love how dead set she is. I love how dead set she is on like protecting Anna. It's like Anna, get me. I mean, you're not taking my sister away. You're not harming her.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah, very very protective.
I love that. Just really her instincts, protect on. And then this bit, I think they could have milked this for a little more, to be honest with you. But you can question the believability from Elsa's perspective that essentially Snow Queen like snaps her fingers or something, and pretty much makes Anna disappear, like disintegrate, freeze over first of all, then disintegrate. Which think if you're Elsa and you think that's actually Anna,
Oh
and
yeah,
basically your sister
terrifying.
just got frozen. That's a reference to the Frozen movie too, by the way, when she was completely frozen solid for at the end there.
Sure, right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Gets frozen, then gets disintegrated, and this person's much more powerful than you. I wish they kind of milked it for like she actually thinks that it was real. Like she says, "What did you do to my sister?" I kind of wish they milked it for like a few more moments,
Yeah, I'll give you that for sure.
just like
Yeah.
a little more, pretty much like, "Oh my God, did you just kill my sister?"
You see, I kind of feel the same way about Hans, and I don't even know if Hans is going to come
No,
back.
no,
So.
I'm sure Hans is going to come. I'm dead. I'm almost dead set that Rumpelstiltskin's going to unfreeze him.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Regardless, I don't think they'd kill him. I think it'll be fine. But he's got like 12 brothers. I mean, someone has got to like just say, okay, let's just get a tea kettle or something to try to thaw him out.
Oh God.
It's not like he was enchanted or anything. He was just frozen.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyways.
Anyway, let's see. So the point is, then Elsa kind of pieces together like Snow Queen and says, "Oh no, it's not her. I cannot love the Snow Queen. She's cool." Literally, pretty much saying, no, it was a trick. Pretty much saying, oh dear, I'm so sorry. It was a trick to get you here. It was a trap. And pretty much she was never there. And then pretty much makes the snow appear, and then the chains come out. And pretty much Elsa is in a bad spot right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Chained to the very snow that compels her. And literally, again, a little. Pretty much, Snow Queen's kind of laying out her plan here for Elsa real quick. She mentions, chains her so she can get her out of the way for whatever she's gonna do, which is from what we get at the end of this episode is gonna be big.
Yeah. Yeah. We still don't know quite what it is yet, but
Yeah, we had like a creepy, ominous line to go off. We'll get to that. The point is basically saying, "I want you out of the way right now." Chains are down. I love the symbolism that the chains are constrictive, given her fear. Like it's stronger
sure.
with her fear, and I love how I really love the way Snow Queen does it. That actress really is good. Pretty much saying, imagine what you can do without fear. Essentially, pretty much saying, there was a time where you could have harnessed this power, but that's past. And I speculate what that one time was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm essentially what I assume she means by that is like that opportunity is past. Basically, it's too late for you to kind of learn how to get over that. You couldn't have gotten over that fear. If you had gotten over your fear back then, you would have been more powerful now. Maybe I could have taken you under my wing type deal.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
I'm thinking the moment is pretty much she's implying, and this might play into something bigger for all I know. I think she's saying, had your parents not stifled your power, not made you live in fear of that power, you could have
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
accomplished great things. And maybe she hates. Maybe it's like maybe she hates the king of Arendelle because of that.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly.
I'm thinking maybe that's another reason she resents her sister and her husband, perhaps.
Okay.
Anyway, so the point is pretty much saying, you've lost because you've been so susceptible to fear in the whole movie of Frozen, pretty much. You're weak, and pretty much your fear is it's going to keep you here and keep you here where I want you right now, keep you out of the way for the terrible stuff I'm going to do. And I love this line. This line I thought was the most Halloween, really creepy, awesome line. She says, "I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you you're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. But your fear is what I need right now. But your fear is what's needed right now." And Prince, what are you gonna do? And again, I love how she's playing mind games. But look at this actress. You don't know what she's gonna do. She's so not monotone, but so calm, cool, and collected that you don't know what she's gonna do.
Yeah, you're not familiar with this actress the same way I am, so.
That she could do she can do anything right now. Pretty much that's why she's like keeping Elsa on the fear, on the guard. Like, this person is much more powerful than you. She knows stuff about you you don't know about her. She's like the boogeyman. She's an icy boogeyman.
Sure.
And pretty much like, what are you gonna do? And then she says the Halloween-centric line, but not in this context at all. Really, it's just really, it's cool sound. Now she says, and I love the way she delivers this. I'm gonna build a snowman.
Snowman.
It's so sweet and yet terrifying that she's saying, well, what else am I going to do, dear? I'm going to build a snowman. Reference, of course, to Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Which in the promo sounds like a horror movie line. Do you want to build a snowman? Premise, I'm going to build a snowman. Bum, bum, bum. A good scene, really good scene between them. You feel so bad for Elsa.
Oh, yeah.
Had a little hope dashed of her sister, and now she's in a really bad position. Under the Snow Queen's thumb, she's trapped by her own fear, her own doubt and fear and emotion.
Sure.
A little clever on the Snow Queen's part, basically giving her like a little bit just insurance to make sure she's afraid by it planting the idea, almost Inception style, almost. I'm stretching with that one, mind you. Almost Inception style, that pretty much, I just presented you with your sister and I took her away. And the idea that you're never going to be reunited with your sister, even you'll dream of being reunited, you'll never have that. Again, pretty much seeing the idea that you have something to be afraid of right now, so I can make sure I can at least get you right now chained down, and then remind you what you're afraid of. Good plan.
Like I said, just this actress, like, she's come a long way. I really loved her on Lost. I really did, but this is like, oh, it's so creepy. It's great. It's really great to see her progress like this. Because I thought her talents were just wasted on that awful V show, that awful alien show V. I thought her talents were just wasted on that. So it's good to see Elizabeth Mitchell getting such a meaty role.
Again, something just to commend the show on real quick. Again, in addition to the kind of the costume, which I do really like her costume too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The thing I think I like most about her portrayal of Snow Queen is that think about it, aside from the fact, Elsa was originally intended to be the Snow Queen, just in the original conception of it, just looking at her as kind of like, for the purpose of this series, as our legitimate Snow Queen, she fits the mold extremely well, because she fits kind of that class. Again, I haven't really read the book thoroughly or anything, but I got the gist of it, that the Snow Queen in that book, in the original story that Frozen's based off of, Snow Queen was more of like kind of that alluring, well, not alluring, but kind of that boogeyman-ish like person who would manipulate children. She would be like this sweet, caring person who would kind of lure in these two kids and essentially turn their emotions against each other.
Sure.
So she kind of fits that mold. I really like that. They're kind of going the classic storybook route with her and turning a new direction, making it really, really interesting. I like that. That's what this actress is really doing for me.
All right, well, I'm glad you're enjoying her, because I have enjoyed this actress for years.
Okay, anyway, so back to Snow White.
Yeah. Okay, so Snow White, this is another really great scene again. Again, Snow White's really growing on me. I didn't really know what to make of her in the first couple episodes, but she's really won me over. So she approaches Will Scarlet, who's digging himself a hole, and she's just like, oh, the jade is up, I found you, and so basically the whole thing with this scene is she thinks that David set this whole thing up. She thinks that David let Will out.
This scene's brilliant.
Oh yeah, so that they
especially
can have
upon the rewatch.
Yeah, so they can have a nice little prince and princess adventure. And oh yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun.
First of all, I love the interaction between you two before that whole thing's revealed. Pretty much saying that, pretty much saying, what you digging for? And pretty much digging for a map. Pretty much say, you should have a map if you buried something. He says, well, I did have a map. It's in my bag. He says, you buried your bag, didn't you? He says, yeah, it wasn't a smart move, but it really wasn't. Especially, like, I don't believe you made that move. He says, well, I was drunk at the time. I believe you did that. Really funny back and forth dialogue, and I love the fact he says, well, what are you, the sheriff? He says, no, but I'm married. I'm married to it. I'm married to the sheriff.
Blonde.
I love that notion of she just thinks like you're married. Things that she's married.
Kind of confirms my whole dealio, my whole issue with Snow White early on, which is like
age thing.
Which is like Emma and Snow White. The actresses are they look pretty close in terms of age.
Well, that's the gag. The gag is like they were separated, and she was reading. I keep calling it
Get that's the
reincarnation.
gag, but it's just kind of like it just took me a couple episodes to get used to it. It was a little bit unsettling at first.
I love how he's put off by it too. Like, wait, what?
Right.
No. He thinks that for a moment he just thought that he was married to Emma. That's funny. That she was married to Emma. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's see. So this is a little confused look after he basically saying, no, I'm married to the other one. What? Also, I love his thing. You're calling me short and dumb, essentially saying I expected you to be taller and smarter. Anyway, so again, then we have the really great scene where he says, "Oh, that's sweet, man. I'm married to," pretty much. She thinks it's a sweet gesture by Dave, and then pretty much saying,
"Oh, that is so David."
No, I know, I love that line. It's so David. It says it with so much love. I love it. Then pretty much rewatch this episode and watch Will Scarlet's reactions. It's priceless.
Oh yeah.
So Will Scarlet kind of playing the angles here. Pretty much, he's denying it, saying, "Oh, wait, did my husband put you up to this?" No. Oh, don't be bashful. No. I know. It's so David. I mean, tell me that it's like essentially saying, confess. She's basically asking for like a confession. Like, tell me he did this. Oh, but I don't know what you're talking about. And pretty much saying, I'll pardon you. So, well, you mean to tell me the sheriff's wife has this power to pardon me? I'm also the mayor. I love that. I'm also the mayor. Instantly says, yes, I did it.
Right.
Says, you broke out on purpose because of David asked you. He says, no, I didn't really. He says, you want to tell me I'll pardon you? He says, I did. It's like 2 seconds flat. I did it. Seize an opportunity. Says I did.
Oh yeah.
So David. Okay, next scene. Regina and Emma.
Okay, so this is basically
the bridge. They're on the bridge.
Yeah, I just love the line like, "Will you stop pointing out the obvious?"
Pretty much, yeah. They're on the windy ice bridge, and then they find out it's a trap by the Snow Queen. And then pretty much Regina realizes, the mirror set her up, and she is not happy.
Oh yeah.
This is love again. It feels, it kind of reminds me of in a weird way.
What?
Just talking about it now, it kind of reminds me a bit of Toy Story 1 with Buzz and Woody when they were a little bit like they were kind of enemies before they were allies.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, I can see that.
I was saying like how Woody was always the pessimist, he always yelling about, "Oh, shut up, you idiot! Just shut up."
Yeah.
It's like Regina's Woody, and then was Buzz Lightyear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. So anyway, so meanwhile, let's see. Okay, so meanwhile, again, upon the realization that the mirror is a double crosser, first of all, she mentions Sydney, and then that piques Emma's interest, and very much says, sorry, just trying to here. I'm just trying to read my notes here real quick. What happens in the scene, Tiki?
My notes are less thorough than yours are, I'm guessing. But yeah, basically all I said is that Regina, she's realizing that Sydney's double crossing him. So that's
wait, you have your mirror? So what? I don't tell you everything. I just love that.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you tell me it was your mirror? They told me they had Sydney trapped in the mirrors. I don't have to tell you everything.
Oh yeah.
And essentially, she points out that he's working. Finds out that he's working for the Snow Queen.
Mm-hmm.
I love how she looks. She looks in the mirror to talking to him for a minute, pretty much saying, "I double crossed you," and she has a present waiting for you.
Yeah.
Also, I love how Regina just pretty much says, save your moral judgments for later. Like, instead of just save me your moral judgments.
Yeah.
Again, she's so defensive and such an ego on her.
Oh yeah. Really fun stuff.
I love how grandiose it sounds coming from her, because she's used to the old. She loves her when she was evil.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get a sense that whether she's truly changed or not, you gotta get a sense that she loved the old times. Pretty much, she could get away with anything she wanted. You gotta assume that's motivating your actions. Well, anyway, so the stairs are collapsing. They run away. Meanwhile, Elsa, as they get away from the staircases, there's a surprise waiting for them. We'll get to that. Meanwhile, Elsa, she has a little yay moment where she breaks the chain, she conquers her fears. Yay, Elsa,
Yay!
hooray!
The power of courage prevails.
Meanwhile, the little prison is waiting for Regina and Emma, where we see the Snow Knight or the Snow Guard is waiting for them, and it's a big.
Is this the snowman that the Snow Queen's talking about building?
Yes.
Okay, that's a pretty damn ugly snowman.
Well, it's a Snow Guard.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't even look like it has snow on it at all. Like, I don't know. I don't like the design of this thing. I'm just gonna say that. I really don't.
Well, you got a point that it could be more snowish, but it's kind of like, I guess, the staircase started out of snow and then turned to ice.
Said you want to be a snowman. Like, I was getting excited. I was like, oh, are we gonna see like an evil version of the snow golem? That's what I thought we were gonna get.
I guess think about it this way. That if Elsa's constructs to protect herself are giant snow golems who really there's not really have to hurt anyone, they're protective and huge, where the Snow Queen's constructs, they are precise, they are convincing, and when they need to be, because pretty much the one that she did with Anna looked exactly like her, color and everything, and voice and everything.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Where really, when she needs something to be deadly, she's gonna have it be huge and deadly and really durable. So it's really she's kind of cutting around the. It's like she's cutting around the whimsy of it.
All right, fair point.
So it is a snowman made from snow. So I know.
Okay, well. All right. Well, anyways, this is a really fun battle we got going on here. To tell you the truth, it kind of reminds me of something out of Dragon Ball Z.
No. Oh wait,
yeah,
actually,
it does.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Especially the way that Emma and Regina pull their powers together.
Vegeta, we gotta do this together.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Kakarot, stay out of my way. Regina's Vegeta.
Oh, of course.
Emma's Goku.
No, seriously, just with the people just blasting the energy. That's what reminds me.
Essentially, together, separate, they got the on-the-nose symbolism of, okay, individually they can't take this thing down or melt it, but together they can. Teamwork!
Oh!
Okay, let's see.
Then the Snow Queen shows up. She reveals herself, and
I love how she owns this scene. She just comes out of nowhere.
Oh God, absolutely. Oh yeah.
We find out she wanted the mirror. Apparently, she has command over the Force. Apparently,
apparently.
It basically makes the mirror come to her, and then pretty much force chokes him. Which I'm wondering. Again, whether it is like an actual
another crossover. No.
Well, Disney does own the rights.
that would be pretty crazy.
But in terms of the force choke thing, I'm thinking one of two things. One, it could be that maybe she has other masteries over some additional magics, maybe. But what I think it might be, I'm saying this is more scientific. Again, we're talking about magic here, but scientific, quote unquote. Way I think she's kind of freezing the water in their lungs.
That's what basically. Yeah.
Like she's, if not moving the water, then kind of freezing in a position that's kind of choking them. That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it for sure. Either way, it's creepy as hell.
Oh yeah, it's real scary. Like it comes out of nowhere. It's like, oh my god. And even Regina, she did it to Regina too. Oh my god.
Right.
Let's see. And the force choke. What saves him from the force choke is Elsa. Elsa saves the day. Yay! Blast the Snow Queen across the way. Snow Queen's impressed and hopeful. Basically says, there's hope for you yet. There may be hope for you yet.
We don't know anything about Snow Queen's plan. We don't know what she has to do with Elsa or Emma. Very intriguing stuff, though. Very intriguing.
Oh yeah. I just love that. Basically, she sees potential in Elsa now. I'm thinking, speaking of force choke, I'm thinking it might be like a dark side thing here.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
You gotta remember, our last episode, I believe our last episode was like, this is probably the episode before that, now I'm thinking about it, was, the big thing was, Snow Queen talking to Elsa and pretty much saying, I'm going to show you, you're not going to like this, but I'm going to show you these people will dine on you like that.
Mm-hmm.
These people, they will panic, they will frustrate, even though I'm framing you for these crimes. I'm showing them that they're going to think of you as a monster no matter what. eventually it's gonna happen. It's why you were betrayed by your loved ones, and you don't know it yet. And you don't know if she's telling the truth or not, so it's so hard to predict what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's see. So let's see. Elsa saves the day. Yay! And basically, Snow Queen has what she needs, and then she just disappears. Meanwhile, Regina reveals she puts Sydney in the mirror. I love how she casually just references like what she did, pretty much like kind of frustrating thing. All right, fine. So yeah, I put Sydney in the mirror to kill Marion, but I but I changed my mind. You never believed me. That's why I didn't tell you. Happy?
Right.
And I love that. I love that. I was wondering, like, oh, that's going to be a big reveal at some point. But no, she just casually brought it out there and put it out there. I love that Emma doesn't overreact or anything.
No, yeah, it's good. It's nice.
That's like, because she knows Regina at this point. Again, you and I are operating off of like assumptions here, pretty much. But yeah, Regina's probably done the Siler type thing all the time of kind of switching sides, changing her minds, and coming through at the end of the day. So it's no new thing to Emma that she planned to kill somebody but then changed her mind. She's happy that she changed her mind before she did it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, see what happens. What's continuing to happen here? Take us through the next scene. Next scene's with Sydney. Oh, well, actually, hold on one second before that. So then pretty much Elsie kind of trying to play mediator says, listen, you need to put aside your differences or else Storybrooke's doomed. Says, I will never forgive you, Emma Swan. Essentially, we will never be friends. Essentially.
Oh yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff. Okay, so then meanwhile we're back with the Snow Queen, and she frees Sydney from his prison, and
this was a cool scene.
And she basically frees him in general.
Yeah, no strings attached.
You don't have to do. Yeah. And
she's really nice. She's a much better boss than Regina.
Right. Yeah. You gotta love Giancarlo, however you.
Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, you gotta love him. He's great. He's great. Because he's just essentially like surprised. He's like, really? You don't want me to do anything?
I love how he calls her my queen now too.
Yeah.
My queen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So and the Snow Queen's like, no, Sydney, you're not what I wanted. I just wanted the mirror.
I love this whole speech she has, and I love she gives one cryptic line as to what her plan is, and that's all we know. But pretty much, I love this whole idea that she mentions this mirror. She doesn't explain the full plan to Sydney. She pretty much says, I need this mirror because this mirror, the one who put you in this mirror, she forged this with dark magic, and that was the last part I needed. Oh boy, just the fact she said dark magic got me. Oh boy. That's the last piece she needed. At least one of the last two pieces she needed.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, let's see. Also, I love how Giancarlo Esposito says, wait, there are other mirrors? Oh yes, and I've collected a whole bunch of them. Also, by the way, I love her ice palace too. Like her specific ice palace. It's much more pointy than Elsa's.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Also, I love how I love her whole she's talking about the importance of mirrors, the symbolic nature of mirrors. Basically, says, they reflect mood, desire, essence, temporary. I'm trying. Not receptacle, but yeah, a temporary receptacle for.
Oh yeah. Hello, you there? Hello. Oh boy, we lost him. Did we lose him? You there, buddy? Hello. Whoa. Excuse me. This is the first time that this has happened in quite a while. Well, let's see. I guess we'll just have to go back and trudge on without him, I guess. Oh yay! Gotta love it. Yay! Google Hangout technical difficulties. BlueDragonFive, you there? Hello. All right. Well, oh, good. He's dropped out. Maybe he'll probably come back. He will probably come back. So, So yeah, anyways, with the Snow Queen stuff, you know, she's with Cindy again. Really good stuff with Elizabeth Mitchell. Hello, you there? Hello. No. Lovely, lovely. Apologize for this, folks. We will be back up and running. You know, Elizabeth Mitchell, like I said, time and time again, really good actress. You there, BlueDragonFive? Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. What was the last thing I said?
Oh, something about the Snow Queen in your mirrors, like how you were trying to look up. I think you were trying to look up the quote about all the mirrors that Snow Queen had, and like the essence of the mirrors and everything like that.
Yeah. Pretty much. Oh yeah, pretty much just saying that. Sorry. Yeah, pretty much saying mirrors. They kind of reflect the inner self, pretty much. You know, they have basically temporary receptacles for a fraction of yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much she has other mirrors, and her plan essentially, from what we gather here, just visually, it looks really beautiful. I gotta tell you, she's so powerful, just cracks the mirror without even touching it. Mm-hmm. You know, she plans to use his mirror with the dark magic and basically use it to get what she quote unquote deserves.
Yeah, really cryptic delivery right there. Oh yeah.
And Sydney's free, and she advises that he dress warmly. And then pretty much now she has like the last piece of the physical mirror, and she says she needs one more thing. You know, she has got the physical. She's got the physical mirror, and basically she has constructed a mirror made out of shards of several other mirrors. And, you know, she sways it over, really cool effect, makes it a whole solid thing she's looking into. Looks really cool. And then she says, finally getting what I want. I'm one step away from getting what I want. A family who loves me.
Oh yeah, that's really interesting considering the flashbacks.
Oh god, so much speculation. Okay, let's see. Next scene, what happens?
Okay, so just really quickly,
Elsa.
Yeah, so in this scene, Elsa and Emma, they're just kind of talking about Regina, and Elsa, she gives a really nice speech about how Anna was the one who taught her not to turn her back on people and yada yada. So
I love that. I love that she's
yeah, good stuff. So
really, really good stuff.
So Emma, she takes in Elsa's words, and I really like how Emma and Elsa are kind of growing to be good friends. I really like that.
Anna had presence in the episode, but most definitely, even though she wasn't in there literally. Sure,
yeah, absolutely. I get the feeling it's probably going to be the same thing next week, but we'll get to that. So Emma takes Elsa's words to heart, and she goes back to Regina, and Regina's not pleased to see Emma whatsoever.
First of all, I love how we get to Regina. She's looking in the empty mirror now. I love how she feels so betrayed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And so basically, I don't know. This might be a good time to go into the flashbacks.
Pretty much, Emma just recaps the flashbacks as we're going to, much briefer, much better, yeah. And pretty much says that she never forgave her friend. It was a big mistake. She could never befriend this friend again. And pretty much says the reason I talk to you, reason I keep making effort is because I know basically after the implied all the season that you and I are not caught up on. Pretty much, you can understand. You can understand. You can understand me better than most because you and I have a lot to relate on. You know, pretty much. You know, we've gone through the same things. People have abandoned us. You know, we've been solo. We have powers that are similar. Pretty much saying we're special, which does definitely relate to the flashback she's mentioning, and pretty much saying we're friends. Saying I thought we were friends. We can still be, and I won't stop trying. And pretty much saying even if you want to kill me, I'm not going to stop trying. And I love Regina's last line of the episode here. Pretty much saying, I don't want Emma, like Swan Emma. I don't want to kill you. He says, there's a start. That's a start.
Yeah. Legit progress. Well done.
Let's get back to Snow and David. What's happening?
Okay, well, Snow and David, this is just a nice little wrap-up. Snow's looking after their baby and everything, happily reunited, and And she starts to tell David about Scarlet, and she's just like, "Oh, I thought it was so sweet, the little rouse you pulled with Will, and blah blah blah." I love David's face because he's just like, "Well, don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely thrilled that you had a good time, but I didn't do any of that stuff with Will."
I love Snow White in this scene. She just realizes that, it says, yeah, I pardoned him. It says, you pardoned him. I love it. First of all, I love how cocky she is. Like, fun cocky, pretty much saying, he said, yeah, I know you tried to keep it a secret. He was a terrible liar, though. Well, honey, he wasn't in on it. It's just, well, I pardoned him. You pardoned. Pretty much saying, well, you know what? If it was to get you like you're so happy and jazzed, I'm so pleased to see you happy and jazzed about being like your old self again, getting back in the swing of things. I'm sure it was worth pardoning him. Again, he was a small timer. What's he gonna do? Crawl into another library drunk again? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another bit that we kind of glossed over from the scene with Snow and Scarlet.
First, what did you do? Says I. Pretty much when you say, "Oh, this is such a David plan." What was your crime? I just wandered into the library drunk.
So, essentially with the Snow and David stuff, like, it really doesn't add much to the overall plot of the season or anything like that, but it was just fun. It was nice character development, and for us novice people, it got us to know these two characters that we already like a little bit more, and yeah, Snow's starting to really grow on me, and I'm definitely loving David, so...
The only thing plot-wise with that story is that now the Will Scarlet's out.
Oh, yeah.
And he's pardoned. Well, for now.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Emma and Hook, they got a scene. Hook's back. Yay, Hook!
Woo!
So, yeah, so pretty much, Emma's... I love the little detail that Emma keeps her personal stuff like locked under her desk. Like all her personnel files. So pretty much, she's looking through some old mementos, given the flashback we're about to go into. It's drudged up some old memories. She's looking through some old possessions and stuff. She happens upon an old camcorder, an old video recorder.
Camcorder, yeah.
Yeah, an old video camera. There you go. Pretty much, and she watches over the old tape with Hook. May I do the honors? Puts the VHS tape. That's cute. And pretty much saying like, who's that? Oh, it's an old friend. Mm-hmm. And I love how Hook's being a part of this. Hook's being there for it. That's sweet. Very little in the episode. Sure. He's there for it, most definitely. And then, big reveal, huge reveal, big reveal. Now, I'm thinking this is going to be the last piece of her puzzle, by the way, of the Snow Queen's puzzle. We see an unfamiliar, a lapse in Emma's memory. She has no idea what she's watching. She doesn't remember any of this happening. And the reason she doesn't remember any of this happening is it looks like she's in a new foster home, like a new foster family. Someone's adopted her, presumably. Mm-hmm. We see who Mommy Dearest is. It is the Snow Queen! Boom, boom. Emma's adopted foster mom.
Okay, I actually didn't even realize that it was her adopted foster mom. I don't know how I missed that, but yeah.
It's either I'm like 90%, I'm 80% certain that it's like her, that it's like someone who adopted her, part of the family, because it says it's like an adopted member of the family. If not, it'd be like she's just in a new foster home, and that's
sure.
Like she's like the den mother.
It certainly makes sense given the flashbacks.
I think it's like an actual mother thing. Like she's like the adopted mother for at least this iteration of her being interned at home. It's a big reveal. Snow Queen knows her that deeply, and she has no recollection of it. And I love how the freeze frames, like it pauses on her smiling at the camera.
Yeah, it's really creepy. I mean, Elizabeth Mitchell is really bringing the creep factor. Oh God, it's delicious. I'm loving it. I really am.
All right, okay. So I guess now we're getting into the flashback, which shouldn't be long. Flashback.
Yeah. I don't know, BlueDragonFive. Maybe from now on, and this, I made the call to do it this way, but maybe from now on we should probably, when it's not a Frozen-centric flashback, we should probably just do it as it airs in the episode, because it kind of became a little bit problematic trying to recap this particular episode.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, so now in this scene, it references the flashback that we haven't talked about yet.
So we're in 1998.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And so like I mentioned, young Emma, she's taking the page out of the Selena Kyle handbook of thievery. She's grabbing a big box of her favorite blueberry Pop-Tarts. I love the detail that it's blueberry specifically. She's grabbing a box of blueberry Pop-Tarts, stuffing it under her jacket, very obviously, much like Selena. Literally the first scene of Gotham.
I gotta ask you though, how the heck is the store owner, whoever the employee is, catcher?
I gotta think that the store owner is just sort of just familiar with the whole ruse of hiding stuff behind.
No, I mean like she just came out of nowhere though. That's what I'm saying. Like literally, she didn't even make it out the aisle yet.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah,
I'm guessing like she's behind the security desk or something, looking at some cameras. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, she's behind the security desk, and then she just kind of runs up really quick. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, but anyways, yeah. So the shopkeeper, the store owner, manager, whatever,
Employee.
Yeah, she confronts Emma. Could be a very intense situation, but luckily another teenage girl comes into the picture, and she puts on this whole elaborate ruse about like, oh, thanks for holding that for me. Oh, you go stay with your parents? Yeah, they're in the car right outside.
Yeah, please run in to get a few things. Okay.
Yeah. I must say, for as adamant as the shopkeeper was, they were very quick to let go of the whole situation. Like, okay, whatever. And so yeah, we then go outside the store. We learn the girl's name is Lily, and they have each other's backs basically. Emma and Lily, they're quick friends. And then next flashback. You want to take us through next flashback?
Okay, let's see. Our next, you mentioned that they're being chased, didn't you?
Oh no, I forgot about that. I'm sorry. And that's a kind of an interesting thing because I guess you want to just go full spoilers with this flashback here. So this guy who's pursuing them, I'm going to go ahead and assume it's the father.
Yes, it's Lily's father.
I must say, this dude is driving a little bit recklessly.
I'll give you that, yeah.
I definitely noticed that on a rewatch. I was like, if this is just the dad, he is like going out of his way. Like he is practically trying to mow these four girls down. Like
I suppose it's like overprotective father.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. Like they have that one shot where he's like speeding along and then he almost gets hit by that truck that's passing by. It's like, yeah, it's overprotective father. Certainly, that's what they're going for. But I don't know. It's a little extreme.
Well, I'm something to point out for you, Tiki, and this anyone else. So again, just what we gather from the recaps and this flashback, most particularly. Yeah, this is Emma back in her street days when she was like, again, bear in mind she's an orphan because her parents are still, Snow White and Prince Charming, who were like haven't. I guess they had made the jump at this point. They don't know. None of them knew at this point like who was who. Mm-hmm. So she grew up an orphan because no parents.
Yeah, no, I knew all that. I pretty much connected that.
Okay, anyway, so keep going. Let's see. So our next flashback is... Let's see. Lily and Emma, they're having lunch.
Oh, yeah. Having a nice picnic.
Yeah.
And so this is really interesting because this is the scene where, Emma, she's kind of talking about how, how she's an orphan and everything and how she feels like she doesn't belong. And then Lily, she kind of goes along with it. She kind of agrees with everything. And, who's interesting? You know what I found interesting about the scene BlueDragonFive? Is that Lily never technically does lie here. She never lies. I noticed that very specifically, like, she says, I don't know, she says she feels empty at home, she doesn't have a home, she doesn't like her home, and she kind of ignores the question about, like, oh, is that guy from Child Services, She kind of just skirts around questions. You know what I
Well,
mean?
no, she does say yes to that though. So she says,
Oh,
yeah.
does she? Okay. Well, I don't
She
know, but
says yes to that. Plus, she does say she's an orphan, which I guess in her mind she still is an orphan because she's like a foster home thing. So
I didn't know she said yes. She said yes to being an orphan. I kind of thought she.
she says yes to that guy from Child Services, and then she says, basically says, "Oh, I'm exactly. I don't know, maybe she says I'm exactly like you instead of being an orphan. I think."
Yeah, that's what she says. Yeah, and that's kind of my point. It's like she's kind of skirting around the issue. You know what I mean? She's kind
However,
of.
I think she may. I don't know. I think she may, in fact, have said like I'm an orphan just like you. I think she may have said that. I'm not sure.
I don't. Like I said, the second time I watched it, I was kind of like specifically looking for like, okay, how badly does this girl lie here? And I just like, you know, again, she's definitely being deceptive. You know, for sure she's concealing the truth, but I feel like the scene is more. That's kind of the term. It's more she's not being completely open, but I don't feel like she's kind of like actively lying either. So it just makes it interesting. It's a good dynamic. All right.
Very much. Then she relays to Emma again. Emma eating like she hasn't eaten in a while, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much mentioning that she's got a plan. Pretty much, first of all, she mentioned she stole a credit card. That's how she intends on stealing things instead of doing the messy way of like shoplifting.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. So the pretty much she suggests that she gives her the game plan. Game plan is pretty much these houses over there. They're really nice. These really nicely built houses. They get. The people rent them out for the summer, so in the winter they're free for the taking. That's where I'm gonna go. You're welcome to come with me. So again, suggesting you come with me. In the kind of cue line getting into this flashback was you're gonna come with me anyway.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm gonna make a kind of an out there prediction here. Well, not a prediction. It's kind of an out there thing. It kind of dawned on me in the episode, maybe.
Yeah.
This Lily girl, I'm not saying it is the case. I'm just saying, it might be like a crazy twist, which this show apparently is not above doing.
No, not at all.
Did this girl look like Regina at all to you?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
I mean, I saw that. I don't think it's the same girl.
I honestly think it's probably just as a nice little parallel, like, oh, the blonde-haired girl and the dark-haired girl.
I mean, it's saying the girl had like similar. I couldn't tell if she had the same facial like little mark that Regina does or not. Like little.
Like I said, I just kind of got the dark hair thing. That's really.
I thought she looked awfully similar to her. You're pretty much, regardless, it is like kind of draw a parallel there. But I'm thinking maybe. I'm gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if they did like some sort of reveal of like, ooh, it was her. I'm saying that's just me going off of like what these kind of shows.
That'd be a pretty good twist.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's kind of a twist that we've seen.
I doubt it.
Shows. I doubt it also. I'm just saying it's like a heroes type twist. Of like, it was actually.
Oh dear God.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying like I don't think it's the case. I'm saying it's always a real possibility if they didn't have their idea.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Boy, Emma's up for this game plan, so now they're in the house.
Yeah, so enter title reveal. Oh yes, breaking glass. Ooh. And so they're playing a racing game on the PlayStation 1. Good times. Reminds me of elementary school. Oh yeah, brings me back.
They're filming each other on the camcorder for a bit.
Yeah, which will come back in the end of the episode, of course. I owned a camcorder exactly like that one. I just want to put it out there. Like, I'm pretty sure it might be like the exact same fucking model. It looked pretty damn similar. So, so yeah, that was a bit of a flashback for me. Very much in the same specific sort of time period, like late 90s, early 2000s.
Remember the flashbacks in 98.
No, I know, that's what I said. Yeah, very, very specific to the time that I got the camcorder as well. So,
let's see. So, also here's the big reveal in this. I'm sure you're delighted in this reference. Now, pretty much, he sees there's a little star-shaped. Now, here's the thing: if we see a star-shaped scar on Regina, then we'll know it's the same girl.
Sure, yeah, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think it's her. I'm just saying it's the same, awfully similar in terms of look. I'm saying I think it's gonna look a lot like her in the face too, but I don't know, it's probably just me anyway. The point is, yeah, she had a little scar on her, and this is drawing a big parallel that we've got to mention our present that basically this mark says, well, I don't know what this mark is. It's just kind of a birthmark, but I think it kind of symbolizes it makes me special, and pretty much Emma draws the symbol on her wrist too, because they're both special, they're both pals. Yeah. And it pretty much the jokes about makes a reference like, like Harry Potter.
I wasn't particularly delighted because I'm one of those people where I'm kind of like just neutral on Harry Potter. I can take it or leave it.
Let's see next. What's our next flashback?
Our next flashback is Emma. She's kind of half awake, watching static on the TV. And then she fully wakes herself up when she discovers a man in the house. Oh no, with a flashlight and everything. So
let me say this: our next flashback, essentially, our trigger to this flashback is when they're on the ice bridge and pretty much finding out, that Regina's hiding some stuff. And I like this pretty much. She's hiding something. And then the big question in this next flashback is, what aren't you telling me?
Oh.
Thematically, the girl's father. I love how Emma's like ready to clock the guy. Until he basically reveals, like she's
that's a candle, like that's her weapon is a candle.
Well, yeah, like lock the guy over the head with a candle.
Stay back, you're not going to take us away. Oh,
then
Lily,
the betrayal.
What nonsense have you been filling this poor girl's head with?
I can't be certain, but I think the girl might have used Lily as a fake name. I'm not sure.
Oh, it could be. No. The guy says Lilith. The guy says Lilith.
Okay, never mind. That's it. Then yeah, it is Lily. Never mind. You're right. So pretty much, it pretty much says it's a reveals that that's the girl has a father. You're not an orphan. Basically, the feeling of betrayal, which does indeed relate to our present situation, is a little reverse of the betrayal Regina's feeling.
Sure.
Meanwhile, flashback next.
Oh yeah, and so I think this is the last flashback, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Coming up
poignant
here. So Lily is desperately kind of trying to stay in Emma's good graces. She gives Emma a piece of paper with her contact information. Says, when all this blows over, find me. We'll run away together. And Emma, she's not having any of it. She's very cold. She walks away. And in a last, final, really cold move of just like, I am done with you, she takes the star that was drawn on her and she licks it off. Ooh, it's gotta hurt. Lily screamed, Emma!
Of course. Of course, this relating to the overall theme that pretty much Elsa did kind of echo later on of pretty much you screw someone over. You screw someone over, there's no getting him back, pretty much. But she was screwed over. She didn't screw her over. She abandoned her completely. And then Elsa kind of bringing the really wise bit of wisdom from Anna. So I think Anna, with that in mind, Anna kind of permeates the flashbacks in terms of like kind of the bizarro Anna, if you will, kind of like the reverse thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like something Anna would never do. In a way, I'm just saying, just kind of going off what Elsa said. I just love that line that Elsa said, or saying that. That Anna always had a philosophy, Anna just never gave up on people. If there's one thing I've ever learned from my sister, she never give up on people, even if they send a giant snow monster after you.
Sure.
Hilarious line, but very true. And that does kind of relate here. So, yeah, you're right. Emma, and that was the act of heresy by wiping off the birthmark and walking over. Really well composed shot, by the way.
Oh yeah, sure.
However, there's one issue I have with this scene. Let me get this straight. So she's ready to whack the guy over the head with a candle, yet she abides by going to child services? I mean, why didn't you just leave?
You're right. Yeah, that kind of talk.
I'm sure she's going to escape. I mean, first of all, I'm sure she's going to escape anyway, but second of all, I think the reason they only kept it in there is because they wanted to just see the idea, and okay, now she's ending up with Snow Queen.
Oh.
I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, still, like, why would she abide by that? Just run away. The guy tries to get in the way, you clock him. Anyway, it's a sad scene. It's a sad scene that does definitely relate to our ending, most definitely of her. Basically, what she's learned from the friendship, kind of comparing the story to Regina laying it all out there, do you think it's a little hackney as she just kind of lays out the whole thing in a nutshell for her? Or do you think it's poignant? Like, do you have any trouble buying that Regina would hear her out for that?
I think the only reason why it's kind of, I just think it's a little bit convenient. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, hey, here's this thing that happened in my past that has never been brought up before, but I'm going to bring it up now. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think it's more convenient than hackneyed. Like I said, I am very used to this sort of flashback writing where it's like, okay, we have a dilemma. We need to write a thing that's in the character's past that's going to relate to the dilemma. Happened all the time. I'm lost. So I'm kind of used to it. So it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't.
It was good, though. I liked it. Let me say I like that the whole thing gelled together.
Sure, sure.
Anyway, so that's our flashback. So.
And that's our episode. Yeah.
Oh, what about any speculation?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to get into like kind of final thoughts on the episode before that, just really quick?
Sure. Final thoughts on the episode. So yeah, overall it was good. Not my favorite compared to the other ones. It was good though. I like good character development.
Probably I don't know. Was it my least favorite so far?
Let me think. Actually, I think it may be.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, the David stuff and the Snow White stuff was really good. The flashback stuff was okay. Again, it's sort of kind of like pretty prototypical Lost. So that kind of, I mean, you don't get the Lost thing, but I certainly do. And it's the same writers, so. Oh, that's going to be let up. Anyway, so yeah. Overall, I think it's the weak steps of the season, but definitely still a solid episode. A little bit fillery, but.
I mean, I love the David Snow White stuff was really good.
Sure, yeah. Even though it really, I mean, you could have taken it completely out of the episode. It wouldn't really have affected the plot all that much.
And again, the big plot thing that was really good in this episode was the Snow Queen's plan, which is still really ominous, and of course, Elsa kind of stepping up was a good scene. And again, Elsa and the Snow Queen are really good together in their scenes. So again, we had some good stuff, and I like the dynamic between. I don't know, Regina and Emma, they are building towards something that's more filler, just kind of getting the characters to the place they need to be. So it's more so, just the idea of these two characters. Regina obviously has reasons to really be mad at Emma, and they're starting to get to places emotionally where they're probably going to need to be later on in the season. I'm sure Regina's going to have to come through a big time towards the end there. So we'll see how that goes. So the point is, those two had a good dynamic going. It was fun. It was like kind of your opposites paired up together, and they don't want to be pretty much. your reverse buddy cop. It was pretty funny. Now, let's talk about what we definitely know is coming next week, real quick, because we kind of mentioned already. So pretty much we know. First, we know Belle's going to play a major part because it looks like she's finding out about the dagger.
Oh, I'm so thrilled!
And Belle and Anna are going to be on a mountain, and apparently Anna's going to fall.
I very much think I could be wrong about this. I could be wrong. Actually, come to think of it, in the preview we did see and the Frozen stuff's going to be revealed. So that actually, yeah, you know what? That kind of throws away my theory because I thought it was going to be a Belle flashback and Anna was going to somehow relate to Belle in the flashback, but I'm obviously wrong about that because the freaking promo showed Elsa's like, oh no, what did you find? So yeah,
you think they could have a double flashback, like a different era in just a certain flashback, or what?
Wait, what do you mean?
I don't know, maybe have a flashback of the stuff with Anna and Elsa. They have a flashback just from Belle's perspective of what's happening.
Honestly, I don't know the show enough to answer that really. I don't really know the format for what the show's going for, but if I know anything about Lost has one character flashbacks. So, I mean, this isn't Lost, but this episode certainly felt like a filler episode of Lost, so.
Alright, well, let me say this. This thing really got me jazzed out of my mind for next episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's so simple, though. It's just so simplistic, but I loved it. Visually, my eyes were tantalized visually. I love the design. Obviously, both of us we love the design in Frozen, and I love the fashion in Frozen also. And if there's one thing I really loved, I love the design. I love Elsa in her Frozen dress and everything, but I loved her in her queen getup.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
complex.
absolutely.
And I love seeing her. And I love her hair up too. She looks beautiful. I love it.
Just as spot on as anything else we've seen so far. Really good, really
Again,
good.
these actresses, even just looking at the promo, I'm sold on these actresses. They're getting the performance. They're looking the part. They're beautiful. It's fantastic. And also, speculation. Just given
Yeah,
the look of the set, it looks like they're going to be in the Ice Palace next episode.
they've definitely been teasing that Ice Palace. So
And
yeah, that would
I'm
be.
starting to think, because he also saw it in the promo too, like, it looks like Anna and Elsa, at least Elsa is like looking at the blue ice palace. So whether it's going to relate to the present, like what the Snow Queen was doing, it looks like we have like a miniature blue palace too. So it's just going to definitely be doing that. And I presume we're going to see the actual thing too.
Okay.
It could be cool. Should definitely be cool.
Yeah. Well,
Also, one last thing.
Yeah,
With
sure.
the stuff we definitely know about, there's going to be a portal going to Arendelle or something, because they're gonna find like a note. Oh my god! I just realized something.
What?
The next episode, it looks a lot like we're getting a note that's written in Arendelle. Well, a note that's written, in language that pretty much they say is like it's not from Storybrooke, it's not from our world. So pretty much implication being, it could be from a fairy tale world of Arendelle. And with that said, just dawned on me just now is, oh my god, that might be the parents' note.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
It
Probably.
may be. It's a little rolled up piece of paper. Maybe that's it.
I'd be kind of surprised if it wasn't. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, in terms of like real quick, I only got like two things to speculate on.
Sure. Sure.
One, here's the silly idea. No, I'll say the silly idea for a moment here, but basically, in terms of like what Snow Queen's plan is, the only thing I can really fathom is maybe it's like a Bizarro mirror. Like she essentially, I don't know. I'm thinking like she might trap people in the mirror, like put them in the mirror, cast a spell on, basically make them, like turn them into the opposites of who they are. So basically, they would accommodate. Basically, she'd be brainwashing them, thinking that they're her family.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, put them in a mirror, reflect the opposite of how they feel. So basically, they abide by her will.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of. Like,
Twisted.
yeah, exactly. It's like a twisted reflection of who you are. Get it? Reflection.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can really think of with that sort of thing. I'm just speculating what her plan could be to get a family. That's the only way I can imagine her getting a family, with that mirror being involved in the planning process.
I'm less interested in how she's going to do it. I'm more interested in why. Like, what are the reasons for her wanting a family? Like, what is her past? That's what I'm more interested in.
Well, one last thing, speaking of that.
Uh-huh.
I think something that's going to be a big part of the, maybe our why, but I think presumably the last piece we need for whatever her plan is Emma. I think Emma's going to be the last piece, because, think about it, it's like the one kind of thing she's got dangling right now.
Oh, yeah.
That she's been following Emma for a reason. Following Emma for a reason that last episode. Remember she's tracking she's tracking her down for something. Remember, like, the whole memory thing. So I'm thinking we're gonna get some answers about Emma's past at some point in the future. And basically, she's either needs something from Emma's, like her magic or something.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I think Emma's gonna play a big role. I think she's like the last element she needs. And maybe, oh my god, what if this happens? What if she wants Emma to be part of her family?
I could totally see that happening for sure, especially with the stuff that we got at the end of the episode.
Oh yeah, and basically try to brainwash Emma into doing it. Anyway, here's my outrageous.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, this is basically, first of all, start off as like a what if. Like, what if we saw Henry and Hook doing their sailing? Pretty much. I'm not saying do it like a literal what if, but I'm saying what if Captain Hook, he got to live up to his namesake. Let's make him like a swashbuckler. Pretty much for an episode, or like in the future or something. Pretty much like him and Henry and Hook, Henry, and David on an adventure. And this is stretching it, so maybe at some point, whenever we do get Anna, maybe Anna would be involved in the journey also.
Right.
And maybe if you want to look for some actual legs to stand on here, maybe it's Hook. Hook is going sailing with him. All of them are on. Hook's going sailing with him. David's a little suspicious of Hook. So just making sure, like, because he's worried that, his hand thing's going to get to him now, because not just his hand thing, the fact that he thinks he might be reverting back to his old ways. You know, just because remember, because the hand wasn't responsible to this, he might be afraid he's going back to his old ways.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that. Maybe like he's starting to kind of delve back into his more mischievous, swashbuckling self, and Dave's a little skeptical of that. He's kind of the straight man, and he's like just like a cabin boy there for the adventure, and the amount is like, it could just be funny. Again, wacky speculation, Mike. I don't think they're going to do it, but still, it could be kind of cool to see a seaside adventure with Hook, Henry, and David.
Well, I think just the idea of Hook trying to go sailing with a giant like ice wall in front. That's comedy gold right there.
Oh yeah. Just think about it. Like the kid, his grandpa, who's Prince Charming, and his mom's boyfriend, who's Captain Hook. Along with the Ice Princess's sister, along with the Ice Queen's sister, the Snow Queen's sister.
Why not? Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess that's all I got. You got anything for speculation or wacky speculation?
No. I mean, like, I think the only speculation I have is just a really brief thing. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but, I don't think Anna is actually there when Belle sees her and she falls. I think that's pretty obviously an illusion.
I don't know. I think she's just going to be okay somehow, but I think she actually is going to fall or something.
Okay, I don't know. I just don't think that we're going to see Anna in the present day storyline at all.
I don't think that either.
I'm just saying like this next episode. Like I don't know.
I'm thinking that too. I'm thinking it's going to be like an additional flashback of some sort. But I mean, it could be in the present. We don't know.
I don't think it's a flashback. I think it's just a ruse by the Ice Queen, by the Snow Queen.
No, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. Maybe it's like a false memory of some kind.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, which would
maybe
piss me off because it's just I don't know. It's just a deceptive teaser.
Here's an idea.
It's deceptive. Yeah.
Maybe Rumpelstiltskin's been rewriting memories, and basically the Snow Queen contacts and says and suggests basically, okay, I want you just to we're going to redirect Elsa so she thinks she's on the right track to find her sister. So you're going to brainwash your wife into brainwash your wife into thinking she saw Anna.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, we're definitely going to be getting a lot of Belle next episode, which will be really fun for me. Oh yeah.
Well, at least she'll have stuff to do.
Indeed. Just like you did with Montoya on our Gotham episode.
Well, I don't think it's going to be that bad.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So
I guess it's time to close. It's time to close the book.
Now it's time to say goodbye. Yeah.
Okay, folks. Well, kids, it's that time once again. Time to close the book on this one for now. Until we get to the next chapter of our Frozen continuation. Yet another thrilling installment of Once Upon a Time.
Frozen. Over.
Do you want to build a snowman?